A disclosure of the potentially sensitive subject matter covered in this episode of Roll Call can be found in the episode description.
In the southwestern corner of the world of Mirabellus lies the Outlands, a hostile but enticing territory that seems to draw folks of all kinds. Want to meet a few? Well then, how's about a little roll call?
I'm Ben Pimental, and I play Alden Ambergris, a man with as many secrets as coins in his pouch.
And pulling the strings as the game master, it's me, JP Coletta. So, let's jump into this
Top secret
episode of Roll Call.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to a very super secret. I don't even know when people are going to see this. This is being filmed immediately after episode 5. And this will be a super secret conversation that the world won't know about for a while after we filmed it.
Yeah.
It's just between you and me, Ben. To set the scene, in case I don't know where you are at, where you, the listener, are at right now, but wherever you are in the story, I take you back to the first reveal with Caelen and Alden, as he is so called, in Caelen's workshop. And if you'll recall, Alden just revealed himself in his translucent form. Do you want to go ahead and remind us what this transformation looks like and what your last line was?
Yeah. So Alden asked if he could essentially stretch his legs a bit, and then removed his crystalline glasses and his 10-gallon hat, placed them on the nearest table, and slowly, as he took a few steps towards Caelen, his normal visage that everyone would be used to by this point fades. All of his hair seems to disappear. His slightly tanned skin fades to reveal a shimmering opalescent, almost gem-like form. And the only features that he retains are his strong jawline, his blue right eye, hazel left eye, and his mustache.
I'm glad to see you kept the mustache. It becomes you.
You are the first person who has seen my face in quite a long time. My name is Norx. Norx Vale.
Norx Vale. Caelen Drosk. Pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
So, Norx Vale. Whatever is a changeling? If I am correct in assuming that's what you are.
Right.
What are you doing infiltrating one of the most powerful families in Cauldrick's Gate?
Would you believe me if I told you it was luck?
For who?
Well, for me, always. For them, until the chickens come home to roost.
Well, Norx Vale. So, you want to bring down Valen, but you don't know the first thing about him. Why?
I know he stands for everything that I hate. When I was a child, my parents... do you know much of the Guildlands? The old ways?
course I do. I was there at the revolution. I was at the start. I was born in Cinderholt.
My clan, Clan Vale, after the revolution, after everything went tits up, a lot of us Fae buggered off back where it was safe.
Makes sense.
Some, for whatever reason, whether they were stubborn, whether they were comfortable, whether they physically were unable to leave, they stayed. And someone had to look after them. And so those changelings that stayed undercover, concealing our true nature, to look after the others, look after those who couldn't or wouldn't leave, were given the name Vale. And so my parents, like their parents before them, did the work, had me, and brought me about with them. Started teaching me things. Started showing me the way the world is, and telling me about the way it could be. And when I was young, some bastard with a sword, a silver sword, killed him. Just because he found out who they were. Mucked about for a bit, ended up in an orphanage. No one wanted me. Ran away. Took some time, found myself a new form based on all the other kids that I had seen that had got picked. Smashed them together, made Alden.
He's a handsome man, I'll tell you that.
People do seem to like him. He's a prick, though.
Oh, I gathered that much. I prefer this form, honestly.
His form is a bit more honest.
I respect that. Well, since you've been so honest with me, I'll be as honest as I can with you. My right eye tells me that I can trust you to some extent. But that at a moment's notice, you'll do what serves you well, as are most men. So let me ask you one question, Norx. Let's say you succeed, and I have information that could help you succeed in this, but even if you burnt that to the ground, what comes next? Another cycle of tyranny, magical domination and subjugation, Fae rule?
Well, I thought at the least find people who could be trusted, figure out the ways that they could end up in charge at the end of all of it. Because there are people who would fight. There are people who hate it, put up with it because that's the way things are. We tried it once. If they put all their eggs in one basket, like they are with this railroad, and it goes away, maybe that's a good time.
You know, When I was young, I thought like that myself. I wouldn't get too far into it, but I was quite involved in the early revolution that gave way to the council, gave way to the guild's rule, gave way eventually to Valen. I gave them technology because I thought it was the young man defending himself against the old man, the peasants against tyranny. But it's all the same. I have watched my inventions heal, and I have watched my inventions kill. I have watched my inventions almost kill me. My son is dead because of them. And now I'm here. I'm here where it's safe, and I am in control of the information. I am in control of the inventions. And I'm very careful about who I share my secrets with. Because out here, I can protect them like I couldn't do. You want to go off and fight in some bloody revolution against Valen, that's fine. But all you're going to see is the cycle repeated and repeated. But out here, there is no cycle. It never began. And sure, the arcane dominion of the Guildlands and Valen, they all want to sink their teeth into this place. They all want to colonize it. But out here, there's nothing but time. And if you can figure out how to harness the power of the unyielding, as I know you do, you could create a society without weapons, without death, where people coexist, magic and technology. Look, there was a time where I thought I could change the world, but I can't. But I can build a new one.
I want you to know that I love everything that you're saying. It's what I want for the Guildlands. But, I mean, unless you truly wipe the slate clean, leadership-wise, I agree it's not likely. I like the idea of being out here. But I have one question. And you're a smart man, so I know it's a question you've asked yourself. You build yourself all of this. You build it up. You make it exactly what you want. You have happy people, safe people. What do you do when the outside world comes knocking? We saw a bit of that today, or yesterday.
I don't know. That is why I've been keeping an eye on Valen from afar. I mean, as far as he's concerned, I'm dead. But I keep my eyes on him. And he goes ahead and he removes one of his gauntlets. And you hear this like of steam. And as he does, and he like pulls up his sleeve, you see that his entire right side of his body, apart from his face, is burnt and singed. As far as Valen's concerned, when he did this to me, he killed me and left me for dead out here and sent his cronies to colonize. But But what I've done, and he seals it back off, so he's now covered again in all these long sleeve shirt that leads into these bracers, these very complex arcane bracers. As far as I'm concerned, there are defensive measures besides violence. Look at the wall I built. If I can build something that can keep out the unyielding sun and defend against a Dominion thunderbolt, a lightning bolt, a fireball, if I can build something that can defend against firearms, well then, the outside can knock, but it's never getting in.
Didn't those people blow their way in?
And this is where you and your group comes in. I don't know if you know this, but you're surrounded by some very powerful people. Powerful friends out there. I try not to get excited by power anymore, because power is a dangerous thing in the wrong hands. Hell, it's a dangerous thing in the right hands. But you want to know something about my right eye? Everyone thinks it's the right eye. It's the left that shows me the things that people think I'm seeing. But it's the right eye. The one that you could feel probing. That wasn't the thing that told me. It was a changeling. It's the thing that told me that somewhere deep down in there you're a good man and that I could trust you. And it's telling me the same thing about everyone in this little group that's assembled.
Even that rich prick from the Dominion.
Even that rich prick from the Dominion has good in him somewhere.
Well, that's good.
Though I would be the most wary of him, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, so I still have to keep glancing at him sideways.
Twice. Quite twice.
Right.
All right. I'll tell you a few things that'll help. But you have to... Listen. I'll help you blow that railway to smithereens, but you have to promise me two things. One, no people get hurt. Two, you leave my name out of it. Whatever you want to do beyond the borders of the Outlands, it's your business. But you don't bring them to my door. You understand?
I would never. If he thinks you're dead, nothing I would do should make him think that you're alive.
You know, funny thing about this form on you, I don't need my right eye to know that you're telling the truth.
Like I said, it's a bit more honest.
Well, what you're after, ROC 19, sun-cracked resin, Venus name, and then sunstone to the arcane dominion. It's a powerful thing. It is literally the power of the unyielding. in crystallized form. You melt it down. You have a power source that will last you centuries. That's why everyone wants it so badly. Now, the thing about it is, it's deeply unstable. I've been able to stabilize the process. Sounds like you think you can. And you don't have a bad brain on you. But I'd say, no offense, if you're functioning off of guild timeline knowledge, you're about 3-4 decades behind my research.
So I'm glad I found you.
If you're looking to turn it into a bomb, you could do that pretty easily. Trouble is, controlling that bomb. Remember rule number 1, no one dies. It's very important to me.
Ideally, in the plan, along the railway, if there's ever something wrong with a car or one of the trains, everyone will be unloaded at a stop, and then the train will proceed to the next area. My idea is that after the train is evacuated, it sits there for a little too long. Guards come over to inspect. The automatons attack the guards. Innocent people run away. Guild people attacking guild people specifically. And knowing them, they won't have the normal ones at the train stations. They are Valen's people.
Yes, what's he calling it these days? The inquest? Black inquest? Those poor souls.
Fuckers are everywhere.
You know, he fools them as easily as he fools everyone else. Well, I say fool. There's nothing less trustworthy than an honest man. Valen, well, he believes most of what he says. But I'll tell you a little secret. Valen doesn't hate magic. It's just useful to him. Not magic. Hate. He's tricked all of these people into thinking that magic is the problem. But Valen doesn't think he's doing the wrong thing. Valen doesn't want power for power's sake. That's what makes him so dangerous. Valen, just as much as you or I, thinks he's doing the right thing. So you can call us inquest bastards if you want. Can't blame you, especially after the things they've done. Especially after the things they've done to your people, to my people. But they think they're doing the right thing. Nah. Let's say your plan goes accordingly. Your automatons, which I'm very interested to see the schematics. Your automatons, they overrun. And then what? Everyone's backed up and then a massive bomb will take...
I'm assuming that once something like that would happen, they would evacuate the stations that this is happening at. And I would allow, a significant amount of time for that to happen. Not enough for them to completely eliminate all of the automatons, but there would be one stationed, at least one, where the fuel is, to set it off. Not just destroying the train and the rails that they stand on, but the station's infrastructure.
Let me show you something about what you're messing with. And he goes ahead and he presses another button, and this time it flips over not this way, but it flips over side to side. And that machine that was whirring, you'd think that it was going to reveal that power source again, but instead it reveals this circular deck, this like chrome circular piece of metal. And it suddenly begins to, as he waves his hand, minor illusion, a map of the Guildlands. And then you see in 3 dimensions this railway pop up between everything. He says, and let's say that we put a theoretical station here, 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 and of course here in Coldrex Gate. And he goes ahead and shows you the 5 main stations that might be stationed throughout the Guildlands. What you think you're doing is this. And he waves his hand over it, and suddenly you see minor explosions around each of those stations. You're messing with the power of the sun. In reality, what you're talking about is this. And he goes ahead and waves his hand, and suddenly you see those same explosions, except they are 8 times the size and merge in the middle. They practically wipe out the entire Guildlands. That is the plan.
Now
that you are proposing.
What about, alright, using the pure distilled power of the sun? Not the best idea. What about a different fuel? ROC-12.
Well now, that is rare. Spell carrying, oi?
Right. That was part of my plan to animate them.
Now that is scientifically interesting. And he goes ahead and he raises his hand up, and now the illusion has expanded to like a full-size grid. He says, spell carrion. And you suddenly see the minor illusion like whirls itself into a swirling vortex, and then suddenly reappears in the form of a lion with 3 tails and the hooves of a horse and 2 glowing red eyes. This is just one of the creatures that have become spell carrion. An ancient beast whose name is lost to time. I found one of their carcasses ages ago out here. But, wouldn't you believe it? I already used it to make Lucky here. And he goes ahead and snaps his fingers, and suddenly from the ceiling descends this silver chrome like robot with like essentially like a wired face that is built out of the shiniest metal you've ever seen, with these glowing red eyes and seemingly like these black wires between everything connecting the joints. It says, say hello, Lucky. And he just waves his hand. He's not very speech inclined. Haven't worked that part out yet. but fully autonomous. I don't fully understand him yet.
So he's sentient?
Yes.
Fully?
Understands everything we're saying. Don't you, Lucky? And Lucky just sort of nods. We're still working on that speech part.
Wow. Lucky, you are magnificent.
Lucky just goes and gives you the okay symbols. He knows. He is quite spectacular.
Now, sure. Pardon me.
It's all right.
So, what do you think about the change in fuel? I know it would be quite the task.
It's an idea, but finding it, that is where you'll run into trouble. I can tell you where I found the carrion to make Lucky, but it's not exactly an easy place. I barely made it out alive myself. Part of the reasons I don't go out there anymore. You're actually headed that way. The Barren Lakes.
Any place in particular?
Well, and he goes ahead and he shows you a map using this minor illusion. I found Lucky here, and you see that there are 3 lakes, sort of like all side by side. Now, bear in mind, these are sand lakes. They are fully dry and lake beds. And he says, I found Lucky here. Where you're going is here, and he indicates to the southeast by a different lake. You would have to proceed north from there, though where you'd find the rust brands, who knows? Might take you miles the other way, might take you up towards where I found Lucky. All I know is the theory goes that long ago, the beasts that make spell carrion, the pure, magical, necrotic energy that is carried in the first creatures of Mirabellis. Some of them might have been semi-aquatic, if there ever were truly waterless lakes there. And if there were, that's where we assume a lot of the carcasses lie. At least that's why we think we found Lucky here. But gods, here we are talking about spell carrying and ROC 19, power of the sun, power of death. We haven't even talked about the scariest thing yet. Changing fuel is fine. Stopping the railway is fine. But I suppose it's worth telling you what Valen seems to be really after. He calls it ROC 21.
Right.
From what I gather, it goes by another name in the ancient tomes. Black Bloom, or the First Ashes. I don't wholly understand what it is, but that vial is one of the few things on Earth capable of containing it. And you'd be right in guessing that the vial that Silas now has is a part of it. Before you ask, yes, I do suspect that some part of Black Bloom is involved in those bombs that penetrated my wall. It's similar, but not exact. Similar effect, anyway. I've never seen anything like it. I don't quite understand what kind of magic it is, if it is magic at all. I wasn't lying when I say I genuinely don't understand the thing in that vial. And that I can't be certain that that is what that bomb is. There are certain similarities. And he pulls out another vial. This is ash from the wall. I do intend on examining it while you're away. I don't think Soilus has anything to do with Valen. At least not that I know. All I know is that him having ROC 21 and ROC 19 can't be good. I don't know this man. I don't know what he intends to do. I don't know if he intends to sell it. All I know is that Valen is very, very, very interested in Black Bloom. And he's very interested in keeping it a secret.
Interesting.
Because you've seen what 19 does, and he points you back to the map and that massive explosion. To my understanding, this is what Bloom does. And he snaps his fingers, and suddenly, emanating from the capital city of Iridium, the world begins to fall away and crumble into ash, encompassing the Guildlands, the Outlands, the Arcane Dominion, and Sanctimara, until Mirabellis is no more. The thing about Black Bloom that I don't understand is it breaks down matter at the atomic level, but it doesn't know where to stop. That's why the runes are so important on the vial to contain it. It seems that the Outland Sun manages to contain Black Bloom, but I don't know what would happen if it were transported out of the sun's rays.
The sun keeps it at bay? Or...
I think. I'm telling you something that scares me more than Valen, more than anything, and that is the sentence, I don't know. And that's terrifying. I do not understand this substance. It does not behave like any other resonant organic compound, or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't follow arcane laws, it doesn't follow divine laws, and it doesn't follow scientific laws. It just consumes. It stops sometimes. But why? I couldn't tell you. It's not consistent.
Where did you find it?
That particular vial I recovered from the dead tunnels. From a deep channel. Dead tunnels are the mines that no one will go into anymore. There's thought to be, as it said, dead. But I can't help but wonder if Black Bloom has something to do with it. And I can't help but wonder if that's why we're under attack.
Maybe some sort of ancient curse? What were you able to make, if anything, of the runes?
Runes are, me made.
Oh.
I discerned them from a few, arcanic enchantments. Thing is, they're from very ancient forms of magic that fully I don't understand, honestly. I've studied technology in Cinderhold, and I studied magic in Hexmore and Valentar, capital cities. Of course, before the fall and the Guild's revolution, but unfortunately I don't know much about divine magic. That's why this Father Brian, I was hoping he could shed some light on the situation. But he went out to see what happened at Iron Hook and he's never returned. To be honest, the regulator coil is number 1 with ROC 21. But if you could return Father Brian, if you found any hint, he might be able to help me get an answer. All I was able to glean from him before he left was that the Sanctimarians refer to this black bloom, ROC 21, as the first ashes. I would assume it was some reference to the first death. But what that means, I don't understand. Are you familiar with the tale of the first death?
I don't. I'm not sure if I am entirely, but
Death was introduced to the world by time, so the story goes. And when time, Lady Crone emerged. The god of innocence, whose name is lost to time, was the first to perish, to wither and die. The story goes that his ashes were sprinkled amongst the earth. Hence Mirabellus. So I believe the Sanctimarians believe that black bloom is a piece of these divine ashes. The problem with that theory is that those ashes were spread in Sanctimara, not in the Outlands. So if that is true, how did they get here?
Wait, can you say that one more time? I was writing something down. That very last part.
I said the ashes were supposed to be spread in Sanctimara. Mare Lumen, swamp of light. That is the genesis of Mirabellus. So what these ashes are doing in the Outlands, this far west, that I wouldn't understand. And like I said, there's no confirming that these are the ashes.
But if they are, which it seems like there might be, the old tale could be a little wrong. After all, it did say across Mirabellus. Sanctimara may be the genesis, but it's not all of it. There may be a little bit everywhere. Or it could have started in one place and moved about because of people, but
I like the way you think. You can use your mind out there.
something I've learned with my adopted family's old people talking fucking riddles.
Watch your mouth. You don't even know how old I am, do you?
You don't feel like an old person to me, though.
Oh, you're too kind. I've been alive since before your parents were, probably.
I've found there are some people who are quite young that are not old souls, it's just that they've given up on the inside, whether they show it or not, and it can be anywhere from sad to just something that makes you shake your head.
Well, when you've seen as many things as an old person does. Sometimes it's enough to make you want to give up. Start over.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do out here.
Yeah, but you want to make something of it. Help people. That's good.
Yeah.
A lot more than I could say of people I've seen with much more resources, not as much brains, but enough materials, money.
Money is an interesting thing, isn't it? We decided that these metals in the ground were representative of something we call value. And we use it to not just trade commodities, but souls.
Yeah. Money and power. Gotta love it.
I have little interest in either. But what I do have interest in, and it seems we might be aligned, is in stopping the wholehearted destruction of the entire world.
Absolutely.
So, here's what I need from you. If you're so inclined, go out there. Find the missing, stolen items. Find out what the Silas wants, why he wants it, and where's it going. If you can bring me spell carrying, I can teach you to make lucky here. I can help your research. And thirdly, bring back Black Bloom. Don't touch it. Don't think about touching it. And possibly most importantly, don't tell another soul about what you've learned tonight. Knowledge is power. These things are dangerous. And as much as I think that there is good in every single person, especially, don't tell that Arcane Dominion brat about it.
Definitely not. If it means anything, I haven't done this in... And gesturing to just the way he looks. Since I was about 11. I think was the last time I risked it. Almost got caught. And if there are any reflective surfaces around, which it's a lab, so I'm sure there are, he'll go up and he'll just like look at himself and like not really like admiring or anything like that, just like he hasn't gotten to look at himself really in what's the math on that, like 19 years.
Caelen sort of floats up behind you and puts a hand on your shoulder. You know, when this is all over, I hope that you'll get to see that face every day.
That'd be nice.
All right.
As he says that'd be nice, he picks up the hat and the glasses, places them back on, and becomes Alden again.
Well, Mr. Ambergris, this has been pleasant and informative, but I believe you've an expedition tomorrow, and perhaps some rest is in order.
I appreciate your guidance on where best to find those rust brands. I'll be sure to relay that to the rest of the group. In
Absolutely.
case they didn't soak it up the first time.
Thank you. Alden,
Yes.
do you mind doing me one more personal favor?
Name it.
Look after Kaya. Don't let anything bad happen to her.
Of course. I'll look after all of them, but I'll keep a special eye on her for you. She seems like a good kid.
Oh, she is. I mean, she's got a hot temper, but
Oh yeah, she don't seem to like none of us.
she'll come around. She can be particularly distrusting, particularly of those who are, how we say, financially motivated.
Yeah, I don't... Now that we've been honest with each other, you know that I don't really care about all of this. But
Oh, no,
look
I
at
got
me.
that.
I'm not financially motivated. I financially motivate others.
Oh, no, I understood that. I can't wait to play a game of poker with you.
Something tells me that may not be my game.
You know,
I think I'm more of a dice man, but hopefully soon, more of a sky chess man.
I hope to hear it. Really, do give that book a read. I think you'll find it enlightening in more ways than one.
I'm intrigued. Might just start reading as I doze off to bed, unless it keeps me up.
Oh, it's a real page turner. Good night, Mr. Vale.
And still maintaining his visage, he will wink his blue eye and just say, Caelen. And he will turn and he will walk away, just strutting his stuff as Alden with the cane.
Boy, if I'm going to call you Norx, call me Declan.
All right. Declan.
And that's where we're going to go ahead and end this.
Yeah, he gotta take
sorry.
his hat down and walk away.
Yeah.
That put him in a different type of mood.